For this run, we'll be using Ogre Sage. Sage gives us the 3 key skills of wandcraft, medicine, and arcane magic, and Ogre is going to make the early game much easier. So just starting out here, getting food. So these gardeners will give you either white flour or silverweed. Silverweed is what we want. That'll cover hunger costs on the wilderness map. Later on, they'll be useful for getting piety. Talk to this guy to get a key in here for the guaranteed pickaxe, and then we're going to dig through and steal this rich guy's boat. This monster down here, there's a kill 3 uniques quest, so that's our first unique kill there. Now we're heading over down here to grab the goblin slaying hammer. Well, it just has generally good stats, so I'll be using that to get through the early part of the game. Heading to the bottom here, because there tend not to be mountains on the bottom row. Heading into the other starting village to get some extra armor, and perhaps more importantly, a wand of digging, which is going to be useful. That wall to the boat wasn't the last one. We'll need to dig. And I skip all skill increases, because that takes extra time. We're just going to be doing all of the skill increases at once later on, right before we go into the end game area. So there we go. There's our second unique kill. We also do get a couple of enchant scrolls as a reward for killing that guy. So we're going to talk to that NPC right now. Get 4 scrolls of identify and 2 scrolls of enchantment, or enchanting. Alright, now we need some extra money for crowning. So I'm going to sell the hammer and then just steal it there. As long as you walk, as long as they don't have line of sight to you, well, you walk out and you can get away with that nonsense. Okay, and here we kill our 3rd unique. So now we're ready to unlock the Imperial Armory. So we're going to eat another silverweed and head back to Carcassia. So here's the first place to use Wand of Digging. Get through that wall really quick. Then up here is the monster that gives us the key to the armory in exchange for killing uniques. Now we're buying all the silverweed. We're going to use that for crowning. This is where we're going to exit eventually. That's why I dug there and leave the boat there just in case we get too weighed down by armor. I don't want to mess around with dropping stuff to get out of overburdened or anything, though it shouldn't be an issue with Ogre Strength. So now we're generally trying to equip the highest DV stuff possible from here. Especially important is getting good high DV boots, because that's where our Scrolls of Enchant are going to go. A lot of the other armor slots could potentially get obsoleted by an artifact we get in Talaria, and it's random what type it's going to be, but it can't be boots, so that's why the enchant scrolls go there. So now we're sacking the silverweed to get crowned. That's going to improve resistances a bit, but more importantly, we've got all the piety in the world for blessing our scrolls, so we use the first 2 enchant scrolls on the boots here. Then we're going to go ahead and enter the well in this corner to retrieve this book, part of this priest's quest line. And the reward here is just 100 ivory, but the second quest gives another 3 enchant scrolls. Here I walk back because I didn't remember whether I actually took the quest. It's one of the rare quests where you actually have to talk to the quest giver before being able to complete it. But there we go. So we killed that unique there. As a favor to this guy, we get another 3 enchant scrolls, another 500 ivory, which is going to come in handy later. So using the chance on the boots again. And now we're going to collect some more gold. So another place, the Wand of Digging is nice. We don't have to swap to the pickaxe. Did a few prayers there to increase EV and soak so that this is safer. These are golems guarding the casino's gold storage. So anyway, pick all this stuff up. It also dropped a Magisi shard for me. So Magisi shards are one of the components to wandcraft. We need to craft around 4 wands for the final area. So we're going to buy, that's what we're using the gold for, buy some Magisi shards from that vendor. Now the other component of wands is we need some branches or boughs to make them. So looking around this forest for those. Once I've gotten 4, then we can leave and go on to the Amulet of the Sea. So that's the thing we need to access the final areas. We need water breathing. So the unique here drops that. He also gives a lot of XP. So there we go. We did a couple prayers again to increase EV and soak to make that fight easier, and then here's where we're going to invest all our points. So wandcraft for making wands, medicine for avoiding status effects, especially mutinous, which just pretty much kills the run, and then the rest of the points into arcane. It's going to help in learning the endgame magic and also ensure that we get the appropriate spell, because the mystic does have all of the magic skills, so we want arcane to be our highest. So I'm looking for a unique here that's going to send me to the final area. Waiting until daytime, though, because the higher line of sight and tower is going to make exploring faster. Pick up an amulet there. That's guaranteed artifact. Improve our resists and EV a little bit more. Here we're getting the Spellbook of Holocaust. So this is a radius 5 ball spell that does insane damage, but unfortunately it costs 200 Arcana points, so we can't actually cast it, but that doesn't mean we can't create wands of it. So we've got now around 32 zaps of that available. Get the artifact from that guy. In this case, it was the shield. And so there we go. We're going to start seeing a lot of this AoE spell. And again, skipping all the level ups because it takes extra time to increase skills. And basically all the monsters here are extremely dangerous because I'm very underpowered in terms of my defenses. So try to kill them at range with our AoE spell as much as possible. Probably the first level is the most dangerous, actually, because it has those infernal wyrms, which have a ranged attack that mutes you, or can mute you. Got really lucky with the stairs layouts on these levels. And we're not going to pick up the God Blade. We've got decent resists from the shield, and we can't use both of those things. Here I get into a little bit of trouble versus these Archangels with the Holy AoE. So here, if we didn't have medicine, we'd be dead, because the status effect associated with holy damage is muting. But in this case, we just took a little bit more damage. And now we're on to the gods, who are also not going to fare so well against Inferno. Also, they spawn in immediately after the previous god dies, so it's possible to hit multiple gods with the same Inferno. And there we go. We killed the last god. That's where the time stops. And there we go. Godslayer in 7:16.